You go outside? I love to turn my mic on. There we go. Let's try this saying good morning, everybody. How are you all doing today?
Morning, morning, morning.
So, all right. You ever have a friend who's just the biggest dork on the planet?
Me?
Alrighty, guys. So today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of close out the year since we're coming down to the end here. Because if I'm looking at this right, we have one more Sunday before the end of the year, and it's been a long year in general.
Mm-hmm.
You look at everything that's going on, not just with streaming, but with life in general, the world, what it's become, you know, surviving the political situation here in the U.S., to surviving COVID, to Gamer telling me that there was some crazy Indian disease that wiped out 100 people in less than a day. You know, so a lot of things have gone on to affect a lot of people. So what Gamer and I are going to do, and if anybody else wants to jump in on this, and we're going to share a few stories of what we've seen from other people if nobody jumps in, you know, because we both can pick out a few people to say, this is the growth that we've seen, this is the struggles that we've seen, but we're going to share our year and allow whoever would like to be involved as well. The whole idea is to show you guys that, yes, while it's been a rough year, yes, it's been a long year, you guys aren't alone. You know, I sat there on Twitter yesterday, and I streamed on Facebook for, what was it, about 8 hours, Gamer?
Mm-hmm.
And between the two, I probably had about 20 people tell me that either A, they're quitting streaming, or B, they're so mentally depressed that they don't know what else to do other than try to figure themselves out and to take a step back. You know, we've all lost friends, we've all made friends. Odies, you are not always alone. Don't start with that today. So, I want, because I didn't really tell Gamer what we were doing, and Queen went to go grocery shopping this morning, so it's just going to be the two of us. Wanted to finish out the year with some positive and uplifting stuff, because, you know, the last few months, at least for myself, has been pretty crazy. The road has been rocky. So we wanted to finish off, instead of being negative and always griping about something, because, you know, we griped about how Twitch sucks, which is why I'm here on YouTube for a change. We griped about stream teams and this, that, and the other. We're gonna finish it off positive. So, Gamer, I'm gonna let you tell your story first.
Okay, so let's see. Are we talking like just our
In general, talk about your streaming journey, the way life has been for you, just so people can see. And has it gotten better, or are you still in the same spot?
Okay, so whenever I first started streaming, I originally did it, I think it was gonna be in like January. Yep, I think it started in like January. I had been watching Ninja pretty closely, not gonna lie. I noticed how he came out with a video that stated why he started streaming a really long time ago. He was like 15. I knew I was coming in late to the game. I knew that I enjoyed video games, and I hated playing games alone. That was my main thing, was I'm not a game by myself type of person. I like to have someone to talk to. I like to have someone to bullshit with, I guess is a good way to put it. So I found out that whenever I first started streaming, I strictly streamed RuneScape for probably 3 or 4 months. That's all I would stream. I met some really good friends through it. We had a lot of fun. Yes, baby. What? What? You can't feed the tree.
No.
Oh, you can't play with the tree. No.
But it's so high.
I know that's pretty. Go step. So, I originally started streaming just that boring game. I'm saying it's boring because unless you play it, and unless you're into it, you're not gonna like it. I played it for probably 4 or 5 months. Then I went to just Fortnite. Whenever I started streaming Fortnite, some of my old high school friends came across my Twitch page, and they started coming and hanging out, and we wound up playing together for probably about a year. Go sit down. And that's when I discovered that I was streaming just for fun. And that's what made it fun. I wasn't streaming to make a career. I wasn't streaming to um, do anything. I was just streaming for fun. And it was a way for my friends to come in and hang out and we could connect that way. So for me, it was more of it let me not be alone type thing. Then I started realizing that once you get to a point where you have a community, you have a support system. And they come crawling in. And then I slowly started learning that I could help provide for my family this way. So I streamed on Twitch for probably about a year before Mixer popped up at PAX, PAX South to be exact. I met Sheriff Strafe and a couple other partnered streamers along with Mixer. And they all kind of sat down and they looked at my stats on Twitch and they looked at my numbers. They looked at my content. They gave me some honest advice. I took it. I ran with it. It was probably the best advice I ever took and ran with. Mixer didn't do a lot right, but they did do that part right. The recruiting was very well. I had a lot of success on Mixer for 6 months before they threw us to the trash like we were last night's dinner. Came back to Twitch to not only that, but started streaming with the Epilepsy Foundation and opened up that window and started not only like I can't say I really started giving back yet because I don't feel like I have, but that's the whole point of my streams are to give back to people. So I don't do it for me. I kind of do it for other people. But
Like, what about the year 2020 in general? Because if you look at how crazy it's been, and I'm gonna let you share any detail. I'm gonna keep this very general, just because I know enough of the last year for you. Share what you feel like sharing, but on a personal level as well, because the point behind this is, if I'm sure you talk to enough people, because I know you, so. On a personal level, has it been like, how has the year been for you compared, like, did you start off in a great mindset, a bad mindset, how are you are now, like, are you in a good mindset, a bad mindset, like the whole idea being like I said, trying to be hopefully positive and uplifting, or let people see, even if you're not in a good mindset now, to let people see that they're not alone in this. Like, yes, this year has been rough, but it's been rough for a lot of people.
yeah, I'm gonna say this year started off better than most have these last few years. I started off really good. Started off happy. I started off very motivated. Um, Once my grandfather got sick and COVID hit, I'm gonna say that's when everything changed. I'm not gonna say anything changed before that. I'm gonna say everything before that was bumps in the road and learning experiences. And I'm gonna say I kind of dealt with that the way I had. I made a lot of friendships. I lost a lot of friends. I had friends choose other friends over me. I've had friends choose to move on and not hang out with me, which is fine. People go their separate ways. But I think the hardest part for me is when my grandfather got sick. That almost made me quit screaming. He was my best friend. He hung out with me all day. He didn't understand why I played video games, but he loved to sit there and watch me laugh over it. So that was kind of why I enjoyed him seeing me be happy. For 2020, it's been a hell of a year. In between us having a global pandemic, our country just going to trash over weird political things.
Mhm.
It's like it's insane. We've had more protests this year than any other year I think I've ever been alive. Um, I've seen people change for the better. I've seen people be blamed for crap they didn't do. I've seen Twitch, Mixer destroy people. I've seen people destroy people. So this year in general has sucked. But the best part of this year so far has been finding a footing and getting to know communities better, meeting my new home, meeting the people within our community, seeing support from places you didn't expect to see it. The middle of this year sucked, but the end of this year, honestly, looks pretty damn good. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I like where it's going. I like what we have coming for next year. I like the way it feels. I just want to get through this year.
Thank you, Ghost. I appreciate it. Sorry, gamer.
You're fine.
So,
yeah.
Sounds like you're in a good spot for moving forward. It's been a rough year, you said, but you're happy with where you're at the moment. Maybe not over the top, but enough to where you're at least content with where you've gotten yourself to. Okay. So that's kind of my point. Is I want people to see that you can have a bad year, but you can come out better or okay, for the lack of a better word, okay, through all the bullshit that you got to deal with.
Yes.
I will say that while I haven't known you long, we're working on what this will be. I think you and I started talking on September 25th. Actually, I was looking through this just because I was trying to get ready for this. September 25th is the first time that you and I actually messaged each other on Twitter. You're definitely a lot different. In a good way. That's not a bad thing. You've definitely...
I've grown.
Yeah. You have opened up more. You're more confident, it seems. But again, that's based off of a short time frame. So other people might say something differently that have known you longer, so they might have a different opinion of that. So it's good to hear that, because I think mine will probably sound a little bit different to a degree, because for the most part, up until late, like yours kind of hit more like a curve. Mine kind of went parallel down and is starting to come back up.
Right.
Because I just started streaming this year. You've been streaming since what, 2017, if I remember correctly? 2018?
2017.
2017, that's right. It was like what, July of... I remember you showed me that chart, like when you started.
Yeah, it was like July, and it was like I streamed like once every month, and then like it's.
Then you really, yeah. So for me, I hit the ground running. Like I turned my Xbox on in like November of 2019, but like I didn't know what I was doing. I thought I just hit the broadcast button and people would come and watch. Like I didn't understand anything about it.
So what got you to hit that broadcast button? What made you do that?
I don't even know, to be honest. I didn't understand. Like, that's when I say, like, people ask me, like, when you started streaming. I can't really definitively say that's when I started streaming, because I didn't know what that meant.
I had a quick question. I don't know if you know what a safe area is in math. I'm doing it for science.
What?
I've never heard of a safe area.
I've never heard of a safe area.
In regards to math.
And in regards to
Google
math?
Okay. That's all I can tell you.
I've
never heard of that.
I figured I'd ask.
Hang on.
She's just gonna...
Is it surface area?
I guess. It doesn't specifically state. but yeah, so I didn't understand what it was, what that actually meant. I didn't realize that there was some place that this was going. I thought it would just like I didn't know. Like I had no knowledge of what this was until one day. It was like the end of December. I said, I love to play video games. I wonder if there's a way to make some money doing this. Like, just curious. So I Googled how to make money playing video games, and streaming was the first thing that came up. So I didn't have any stuff. I didn't have any equipment, nothing. So I was like, well, how do I stream from my Xbox? It was to Mixer. So I got on my computer, created a Mixer account, logged into my Xbox on it, and started doing it that way. A couple weeks later, I figured out how to get my hands on a laptop, started doing some more research, and that's when it really took off. And for the most part, it was smooth sailing through there. I was growing steadily, slowly, but steadily. It took me a few months to actually start getting return viewers. I'd already started making some friends, but that's when I'd already started realizing how the streaming world was. It was very cutthroat because it didn't take long to get sucked into drama. I think my first round of drama started late January, early February. Somebody was saying something about somebody. That person didn't like it, and here's me right in the middle, like, what the hell? I'm just trying to find my place right now. Fast forward a little bit more. I think April-ish. I had met Six and Lou, and I still tell this story to this day because it sticks out a lot, and I use this as an example to help motivate people that. I was already starting to feel that, oh, well, shit, maybe I'm just not good enough because it's been a few months and I'm not making any, I guess I expected more.
Progress. Yeah, you're not seeing those numbers go up,
But this story, I use this story all the time because this was the realization that I need to stop worrying about the numbers. Because I went live, didn't tell anybody, didn't post it anywhere, didn't say anything, nothing. And I was like, well, you know what? If I'm not happy with the results tonight, we're going to probably take a break and maybe just stop because maybe I'm just not meant to do it. And I was okay with that. About halfway through the stream, Lou and Six rated me because they were done streaming, and it meant the world to me. Not because of they dropped all these bits and embers and everything, but
we're gonna raid. We're gonna drop $100 on you, and that's how I met them too.
It was they took the time to say out of everybody that they could have, because I think it was Six who told me this. It might have been Lou. I could have, it was a while ago, so the facts are all the little details. But one of them said, "We noticed that you looked a little down, so we wanted to come in and boost you up." It was the fact that they said that, and it reminded me that just because you don't have somebody there, you could stream with 0 viewers. That doesn't mean you're not noticed. It just means that everybody has a community that they can't always devote everything to you. And while that's still a struggle sometimes to remember that, because here we've come to YouTube, and sometimes that's rough to think, okay, well, we've built this community, it'd be nice to see them here, but they're on Twitch. That's what they're used to, so that's their home right now. So trying to remember that, and it's time to start building, not really building, but building off of what we've done to continue on with what we've established. And I say we because, as I posted on Twitter, if anybody's read it, a lot of people I see will like to take ownership of building a community. A lot of people will say, this is my community, I built this. And that's not the case, because it takes a lot of people to have a community, so that's why I included at the end of that some of the people, because there's more. I could have gone on for hours putting everybody that has had an impact on my streaming year.
On the streaming, yeah.
That's why I put Ghost in there. That's why I put you in there. I've known you guys probably the shortest amount of time, but you guys have become a part of that. Whether, and like I told Ghost last night, just because he's CBNX, that doesn't mean he's not a part of this community.
Right.
But you get through the summer. You good? Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Sorry, my ear came through like you slammed it down. I was like,
Oh, my bad. There's people right there.
you know, then Mixer shut down, and I guess part of me was a little bummed because I finally
cried.
started. I didn't cry, but
I cried.
I had finally started getting some traction going, and I was actually really starting to feel like, you know, we had just actually started putting together a team to start really taking this whole building people up thing to another level. We were trying to actually, like, people were coming, we were going to get people who said, yes, we don't just want to build us up, we want to build everybody up, you know, and everybody understood that it was expected. It was expected you go to so many streams to show that support. And then Mixer shut down. Right as we were getting that going, I was like, well, son of a
I
bitch.
think after the end of that, I probably had maybe 100 tabs up for people on my PC a day. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I had so many people tabbed up come to the end of Mixer, I couldn't even keep up.
Yeah, I didn't have that many, but then going to Twitch, you know, because I sat there all day. So I got the phone call from my wife. I think it was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. She's like, Mixer's shutting down. What the hell are we gonna do? I was like, what do you mean? What are we gonna do? We're just gonna go stream somewhere else. Like, it was that easy for me. I wasn't.
It was that easy.
Well, where are we gonna go? People are talking about Twitch and Facebook and YouTube. I said, well, Facebook would probably be easier. Because if it hadn't been for my community, I would never have been on Twitch. My community wanted to go to Twitch, so I was like, all right, cool, we'll just go to Twitch. No big deal. I was like, we just pick up right where we left off. So I sat down that night. I came home. Everybody was like, we're gonna take the night off and just, you know, get our stuff set up.
Rebuild. Yeah.
Me, nope. I said, nope, fuck it. Tear down all the Mixer stuff. We're going to shut it all down. I deleted everything off of OBS that said Mixer on it. Streamed with just my Elgato and my webcam. First night, if I remember correctly, I pulled... It's probably one of my better nights on Twitch. I think I was sitting around 27 viewers the entire night. For a couple hours. And it was just a reminder of... Look at what we built. People were here. First weekend, hit affiliate. First weekend, my wife hit affiliate.
Yep.
We did it just fine. There was no slowdown. It was business as usual. And a lot of people ask me this all the time, like, how can you just go on acting as if it's business as usual? I was like, well, it's easy. It's business as usual.
Business as usual. Like, what would you do if you were in real life and the person that you owned the building that you rented sold it? You'd have to get up, move your business elsewhere. You're not going to stop your business and shut it down. You're going to...
Exactly. It doesn't mean that it didn't bother me. It doesn't mean that I didn't have feelings about it. It was just, I have a goal. And if I'm going to attain that goal, I don't have time to... Well, I do, but for me, it's always been the mindset, I don't have the time to sit there and wring my hands about it. I'll deal with it later. Which is not healthy, as we've told people, you know. So you've been here for some of these conversations, and I've told this to other times. You can't always bottle it up. I told Ghost this just recently. Don't bottle it up. So then, you know, fast forward a little bit, we did Enigma, and some shit happened there to where we changed the name. Didn't change the idea was still the same. Did a little bit of restructuring on it, and then it really imploded. Just conflict of personality. We tried the whole lead by democracy thing, and that part sucked because there was no... the democracy there was exactly like what you see in the U.S. political system. It does not work. It does not work. It can't. People's opinions, some people thought that it was okay to be like this, other people thought it was okay to be like this, and then it got to a point where it was just, we're done. So we were Sinister Wolves at that time, and we shut it down. And the way that it got shut down, I think, was probably when the low point of my time started, because I don't think you were around for this, but my brother was given the blame, it felt like. Like, everybody said, H2O, this is your fault. You suck. Now, granted, I could have been there. I wasn't, because when I realized where this all was heading, because this was done on somebody's live stream. Like, this was...
Right.
He was publicly blasted. as soon as I saw what was happening, I got up from my computer, went and called him, and tried to talk to him. I was like, "Turn your computer off right now. Turn it off right now." Like I saw where this was going, and he just sat there and read it all.
Hey, Todd.
Hey, Tough, how you doing, buddy? So
It's not good to do that though.
yeah. ODJ, you can't bottle everything up because it doesn't work. You turn into me. So, so then we shut that down, and I revamped my approach. And this is about the time you come into play, and Ghost comes into play. The team now is very. It's not. Well, we have CBNX as a partnership, or Cybernation. We're there to just give them a little extra eyes. Bring it to just put some more eyes on their Twitter, put some more, get the view count up. It's nothing like super strenuous, where we're not there, with the Spades Army. It's more trying to get people in to devote to the Spades Army, just like Ghost and Cybernation devote their time to Cybernation.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where things started getting worse for me, because this is where I had people who I considered friends, like you said, moved on. And a lot of it, this is where I realized what the streaming world really is. And it's not a good mentality to have, but it's kept me focused for the last few months on my goals. Everybody's out for themselves. And I guess that's the depressing part, is because I spent the better part of a year not being out for myself.
You spent that better part of a year being out there for everyone else.
And because I put myself out there in so many different directions, I got told, not literally, so when certain individuals, if they watch this, I don't want this to be misconstrued that I'm saying that this is literally what was said, but it was basically, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You suck. You don't devote enough time to me anymore. You're never around. And we're not going to be friends anymore. Whereas I have other friends where I don't have to talk to them every day. I don't have to game with them every day. But I know for a fact I could get on Discord right now and I could message these people, and they're going to stop what they're doing the second they see it, and they're going to be there for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's had its highs and its lows, but it's been... What sounds like you, Odis? It's been a downturn for me, because the people that have been doing this are the people that I thought were my closest friends.
Right.
And then, so that train started. And then I met you and Ghost, because it was brought to me that, hey, let's work with Cybernation to boost each other up, get more eyes, get more promotional stuff and everything.
And it's worked for the most part.
Depends on how you look at it. Because I lost
Okay, I'll fix it in just a minute.
one of my best friends in the process.
Same. Like, now that I look back at it, same.
And over something, to me, pretty damn stupid. I'm gonna put this out here, but because I became friends with you.
Mm-hmm.
I made a friend and lost a friend at the same time, and I guess that's the part that sucks. I've had other people take sides. And as much as some people are going to say no, they didn't take sides, never once has certain individuals come to me to talk to me and really find out my side of it. The line was drawn pretty clear. And I'm not hating. This isn't a hate rant or anything. It's just putting it out there, because I've also made more friends in the process. King of Country has become a very good friend. He comes by quite often. We've met Tough. Odie's and I have started talking more and more. It's been a up and down, you lose some, you gain some kind of thing. And the hardest part about that is it's developed a mindset for me that I expect everybody to leave. I don't expect anybody to be here.
Mommy, was this candy cane fire?
Yes, put it back.
I don't,
Put it back.
and that's why streaming has been such a roller coaster, is because for so many years I've been alone. It's just been Samantha and I, and I'm going to use her name in this. But I didn't know how to make friends, and so maybe partially this little roller coaster is just because it's new for me, not knowing how to juggle friendships. Because there's been acquaintances in the streaming world, people that, okay, they fizzle on, and but I've made friends, the people that I thought that I could turn to, and now they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
And I've contributed to that with my mouth. You've seen the Twitter drama. I don't always know how to keep my mouth shut when I probably should. But your dad, for example, he's become a really good friend. I enjoy hanging out with him and spend,
He's hilarious. He has no filter.
But he's a good guy in general. He's a sweet guy, and I say you suck, but only a COD. You're always on Warzone and Cold War with me, but we always be friends. Absolutely, Odie. I see that, and I consider you a friend. You've been there. You might give me a hard time, but it's in good fun, and it actually.
Quit eating ornaments. Get.
And I know it is. Wait, what? But Odie, it's always in good fun. It's always good natured, and I know that. There's never been a question in my mind that it's been in good nature. Sometimes I think you come on a little strong, as you saw in Discord the other week. So, but it's been good. You've been a good friend, and you've been around and been supportive. Tough. Same with you. We're still getting to know each other, but you've been a very good supporter, and I feel like the friendship is slowly building. I don't think I can say are we good buddies? No, but we're buddies. I feel, maybe you see it differently. But things are slowly starting to get better, because now that the drama has died down, I hope, and can move forward and start focusing on the future, I can finally start getting back to really, fully, truly getting back to what I want to do, and worrying about myself more than anything. So that's been what the year has been like for me. Now, personally, this year for me personally has been a roller coaster, just because my 18-year-old is in a juvenile rehabilitation center for troubled youth. And they're 100% wrong. My oldest is in the Army, so I'm always worried about, is he okay? My daughter is graduating high school this year. She's getting ready to leave, and that's been a struggle for me to deal with on a personal level, just as a father. Fast forwarding to the last few months, my marriage is where it's at due to the drama that happened. I don't know all the details of what started all the drama and everything, but it's put things in a situation. Okay. But I know that I'll come out stronger in the end on this, only because I am goal-oriented, I am driven and motivated to continue forward and not keep it down, because I do know that there are people who support me, people who have my back, and I know who those people are 100%. I know that while Odie's might be a bit brazen in the way that she talks, I know that I could get on Discord right now. I almost would pick up the phone, but that would be a one-sided conversation. I know that fat guy in your house gamer. Oh my god. I know that I could talk to my wife and that she would support me. I know that I have Gamer as a supporter. I know that I could go to Ghost and he would be supportive. And there's a lot of people that I could list off that I could go in and talk to. And so am I in a great spot right now? No, I'm not in the best spot, but I know that I'll get back to where I would be in a good spot. So that's the hard part, Hold on one second. Go ahead, Gamer, take over.
Okay. So It is really interesting that you said you're not in a good spot because I wouldn't necessarily agree because I would have to say that he is in a pretty good spot. Like he is got the community behind him. He has his wife, he's got his family, he's got everything behind him. So I don't think he's in as bad a spot as he says he is. But I wasn't here for that conversation either. But other than that, Odie's and Tough, what makes y'all stream? Like what is y'all's reason for hitting that go live button or making videos? Odie's, you've been doing a lot of good videos for YouTube lately and you're getting a lot of good views. So I'm curious as to what's making you want to do those videos and how you feel about them. Tough, you stream whenever you get a chance. So I'd like to know what's like motivated you to stream, how your year's been. If you think next year is going to be better for you than this year, that's another thing I want to know. Like, what are your predictions for next year?
One person's story that, well, he's not here to share his story. 10 to 1, I think he's probably sleeping because I know he's usually a night owl because I think sometimes the streams start at 11:30 at night.
Right.
Or which is 12:30 my time. Voice of Reason. I'm only going to talk about his streaming journey because his personal details are for him to discuss on stream. When I started watching Voice, he just kind of, it felt like he turned his stream on and just kind of threw it at the wall and said, here, let's see what sticks.
Right.
And over the months, he has become very focused and driven to where you can see just the quality of it, the look of his stream has evolved. His overlays, he just got sub badges, he just got emotes, he's got a whole game plan listed out. This is what he's doing. His activity on social media has picked up to the point where he has this, listen to him all the time. Yeah, I listen to him all the time talk about how he talks to partners about this, to younger streamers about this. He's constantly trying to advise people to where he used to be a very quiet individual. At least when I first met him, I may just not have known him that well. To a point now where people come in and say, man, Voice of Streams are just a chill place, a relaxing place. They're great for this reason. That's just because of the kind of guy he's become. He's evolved into. He does weapon attachment guides, puts up a few suggested classes at the end. My idea was to remove the guide and just do my suggestion. So you're advising people based on your preference, which is really cool because you're an awesome Call of Duty player.
Yeah.
Right? Well, that game last night, or no, the first time I think I ever played with Odie's on Cold War. She had a 21.0 KD.
Yeah, she went 21-0.
So, I was like, God damn. So, it's definitely to see where Odie's is coming. Odie's I don't think really has evolved. I think she's just kind of been. Which is not a bad thing because, she's still
Odie's
doing her
is
thing. Yeah, Odie's is Odie's. But Voice has definitely come a long way to the point where he is very motivational and inspirational, and it's awesome to see that. I look at another guy, Grantless. I don't know if you've ever really gotten to know him.
I've been in his streams a few times.
Damn, you're a night owl then too. He usually streams about 1 o'clock my time.
Usually if I can catch him, I'll catch him.
But he came from turning his Xbox on and playing Fortnite to now he plays a little bit of everything. Mm-hmm. And he's following has grown exponentially, in the short time since he's really gotten into it. I think he told me about a stream team that he got into. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people we can sit here and talk about. So we're going to see if anybody else wants to share. Tough, I'm hoping you're here and you want to share. I'm hoping Ghost comes back. I'd love to hear him talk about his. And we're going to take a quick smoke break and see if anybody wants to type in or if anybody comes in and says that they want to. I spent about 3 to 4 hours switching and trying out 100 different even before I start recording game Damn, that's some dedication, Odis. I'm actually impressed
That's
with
a
that.
lot of time. Yeah, that's a lot of time right there. Like,
So, I'm gonna step away for a minute, guys. If Gamer wants to keep going, I'm fine with that. I'll leave it up for you guys, but otherwise I'll put it on
I'm gonna
pause.
step away for a minute, just a second too.
So if you guys want to share anything, please feel free so we can come back and read it, give you guys a chance, and it'll give us a chance just to kind of stretch for a minute. And I will be right back. Alrighty, everybody. Sorry about that. Let's pull this back up here. So I do think that's really cool that you have that kind of dedication to spend 3 or 4 days before you even start recording anything. That to me is the kind of dedication that the content creator, because for you not streaming but you're still making videos, to me that is a content creator, and I think that's really cool of you to do that. So to have that kind of dedication is inspiring, actually, because I don't have that self-discipline yet. I want to start getting into the video making. I just don't have a clear direction of what I want to do with videos, because everybody does kill clips, everybody does montages. So for me, like, going forward, video making is something that I want to do. I just don't know. I don't have a direction yet for it. You know, I sometimes I've had the idea to do like game walkthroughs, game reviews, but a lot of people do that stuff already. And for me, I get in my own head a lot of times that I'm not big enough to have that kind of motivation. 3 different RNG class setups. That's pretty cool. You know, somebody else that we've come to know is Blade Ranger. You know, and this is kind of like on the flip side of things. You know, Blade started streaming. He told me I think he had like a week or 2 on Mixer. Then we came to Twitch, and then he, you know, he was doing pretty well getting himself established. You know, he started off small and he's worked his way up, but he's got a lot of things to work through in his mind. So unfortunately, he's taken a step back from streaming, and that's a little bit depressing because he's a great guy, super sweet, super friendly, super loyal. And to hear that he's taking a step back from streaming is, you know, it's sad, but I wish him all the best in that. On the flip side, somebody else that I've seen grow over the last year is Ewok. Ewok started off with just throwing up Battlefront 2, from what I remember. I don't know if she streamed anything else, and now she's got a very good following and a very dedicated group of supporters, and she's come a long way with her stuff, you know. So yeah, I mean, Gamer, I don't know if you have anything else you want to add to this, but the whole point was just hopefully people take from this that it's been, you know, to look at things on the positive side, that there is hope for the future on that.
Okay, so with that, tell me what you've seen grow this year for streamers. What companies have done, what has streaming done this year, outside of just for you, but for other people?
Are you talking like the opportunities that have
And it's
arisen?
opened, or let me put this one into perspective. Think of how many kids bought out PlayStations and Xbox this year because they couldn't go to school. So what did they think they could do?
Stream.
Yes. Okay. So what else started this year for gamers that we've never really seen happen before? Colleges
That's
now
true.
offering gamers spots on esports teams for scholarships.
Okay, and that's very true too. So not only that, but charity streaming has evolved as well. People are constantly doing charity streams. What were we talking
Like
about last
Dr.
night?
Lupus.
Thank you. That's what I couldn't remember his name off the top of my head. You know, stuff like that. Look at what we did yesterday. I know you said not just for me, but let's look at what we did yesterday. Shadow Man, great guy, super sweet guy. He's an oddball. Shadow, I love you, but you're a little bit of an oddball. And I say that with all the love I can. You know, that's not a bad thing. Well, look at Gamer. She's Gamer. But Shadow Man is in a position where he wasn't going to be able to provide his kids Christmas presents. He just wanted to put one thing under the tree for his kids. So yesterday I streamed for as long as I did to help where I could. I donated some money to him. Gamer donated some money. We had some other people donate some money to him, so that way he could get his kids some Christmas presents. And in one day we were able to get him $150. You know,
Which, used the right way, $150 goes a long way.
And it was really sad, but happy to see when you donated yours. What did he tell you?
That's his Christmas dinner. $20 made his Christmas dinner.
And it really struck home to me because I'll ask her since she's sitting right here. Did you get anything for Christmas dinner?
Yeah.
And how much about did you spend? Roughly.
Maybe 30, 40 bucks.
30 or 40 bucks. He got 20 bucks and now he's going to use that to feed him, his wife, and his 2 kids for Christmas dinner. You know, so when you think about it that way, spending twice as much, you know. Hey, Ghost. Ghost, we're talking about how the last year has been to hopefully get people to see that they're either A, they're not alone where they're at, or to say things have gotten better or the future is positive for them. If you wanted to share your story, we'd love to have you share. You know, if you want to join us on this call so you can actually speak about it, or if you'd rather just type it, you're more than welcome to. But if you would like to share and be a part of it that way. But yeah, for Shadow, so for, you know, that's what streaming has done. It's not just about gaming and making friends. It's evolved into a way to, like you said, college, scholarship opportunities, charities, simply helping somebody. Hey, no worries, Ghost. Like I said, I just figured I'd offer it, give you a spot to say your piece if you wanted to. You know, so to be able to do that for somebody, that to me meant everything. You know, and that's what streaming has become for me. Not about making money, because we literally took every dollar that came in and sent it to him. I made nothing off of that, other than giving up my time to do it. And you gave up your time to do it.
Yep.
Odis, would you like to come in and talk?
I love you. But I mean, just think of it this way. So, speaking of charity streams, let's look at Dr. Lupo's. His charity stream's still going on for like another 2 hours. He does a charity stream every year for St. Jude. This year his goal was to raise $2 million. Most of the time he reaches that goal. This year a whole bunch of streamers jumped in and celebrities jumped in with him and helped do it over 24 hours. That alone is a huge accomplishment for streamers.
Mm-hmm.
And video game players. The fact that we can take something that many people told us growing up was a waste of our time and we shouldn't focus on, and turning it into something that gives back to those in need.
Sorry, I didn't know if you were done.
I'm done. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm done.
No, you're absolutely right, because I remember growing up, my parents were always like, you should go outside more, stop playing video games so much more, and granted, back, 10 years, 15 years ago, never thought that this would be where I'd be at with video games. I figured it would always just be something I'd turn on and play by myself, or if I had any friends at the time. But you're right, that is what video games has become. But it's also another thing too, not just in like charity streaming or things like that, but it's also become a way for people to, streaming in general has become a way for people to show their craftsmanship. I came into this thinking I was going to make a crap ton of money, learn fast. It's not about the money, it's about entertainment. Exactly. Look at how many art streamers there are. Look at how many people make their music streaming. There's a guy named it's Aaron, who on stream built his own metal forge and actually is forging metal pieces out of it, which to me is pretty freaking awesome to watch.
That is, there's a dude that I watch who makes different beer. He does different beer every
I remember
week.
talking about him, yeah.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to watch his knowledge on it. It's really interesting to watch someone do something that we see as technically illegal, I guess. But he shows you how to do it. He has all the equipment. It's interesting. Like, I would have never thought I would have seen that.
As you'll know, I'm currently going through some stuff for streaming isn't fun anymore, but I'm trying to get back there. I love talking to people and showing that you don't need to be good at a game. Exactly, Ghost. You don't have to be good at it to have fun and to make friends. So gamer, since you're here, and I don't know about anybody else, you're a prime example of...
Go.
you're a prime example of another thing that gaming and streaming actually does.
And
Bring
then you
it-
go,
Bringing people together that you may not have met any other way. How many people, back to being told, hey, Ghost, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you for sharing that. You've actually met some of your fellow streamers in real life. So it actually has helped bring people together in real life.
I've met Dr. Lupo. Thank you, Pax, for that one. I've met Pinky. I've met Killa. I've met there's a couple others at PAX. I've met Mama Fox.
Yeah, I'm talking about, didn't you go to have dinner with one of them one night?
Pinky.
Okay.
We
that's
have
what I
dinner a lot. Anytime I go to Austin, we try to get together. It's just kind of interesting to see how gaming. Growing up, my parents used to tell me all the time, gaming just waste your time. Pause your gaming, just go do your homework, and I'm like sitting here and I'm like, look at me now.
Another thing that it does, as far as not just putting people in real life as friends, it also helps develop relationships. Granted, from what I've seen, they don't actually work long term. But look at, and I'm going to apologize for this in advance, because if the individual I'm about to say sees this and doesn't like it, it is not meant to be a dig. Look at Lou and Sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
They met through streaming, developed a relationship, to the point where they actually felt at one point comfortable enough to move in together.
Then with each other.
Odie's good. I'm gonna let Gamer address that comment. So it actually does bring people together in real life in a lot of different ways.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't just have to be at conventions where you only see each other once a year, but it could actually lead to something to where it actually is long term. How many people have have said they've met their significant other on a game, met in real life, got married, and I mean, look at you. You met your husband, how many years ago, and you guys are still married and pushing along.
So the fact that he's still alive is. Speaking of it, what? Yes, out back. Go stay on the porch.
Socks and shoes. Pants too.
Okay.
Come on. Stay in the bedroom.
Okay. Okay.
No picking up boxes, nothing like that.
Okay.
So I'm going to start
Oh, Red Bull.
this. You want 10 bulls.
Red Bulls, yes.
So, I mean, just that alone with gaming, like you said, gaming, everybody told us growing up, don't waste your time on it, but look at what it developed for you. You got married off of gaming.
Was it the smartest decision? No. But I
That-
did it.
that's-
It was an
that-
experience.
That's your business. We're not going to get into that.
He's too hairy. He's too shaven.
So, gaming and streaming does have positives, and you guys and everybody needs to take some time to remember that there is so much good that can come out of it if you look for it in the right places. Looking for it in the wrong places, trying to develop relationships just to help your streaming career, probably not the best way to do things. Learning to tell which friends you can rely on and which ones you can't. That's a skill that everybody needs to learn. And it can pay off in the long run, and it can not work itself out. People are going to leave, people are going to stick around, and only time will tell if that friendship is strong enough to survive, or if that relationship is strong enough to survive. But don't shirk away from that. Don't hide from it, because there's a lot to look forward to. Hopefully COVID is dying down, so the world can hopefully go back to normal soon. I think that's where a lot of people's content struggles right now, is because you can't do all the things you'd want to do. Like how many times it would be awesome to be able to share, say, hey, went out to dinner, here's some pictures, but no, you can't really go out to dinner because you gotta walk in there with your mask, sit down, quickly get through your meal, and then get up and leave and put your mask back on. It's not enjoyable to want to share that. To go to the zoo, here in
The
Cleveland.
zoo is not too bad here.
Well, for us here, it's you spend so much money to drive through it for 15 minutes and then you're done.
Well, see, they only do the drive-through on weekends now. They actually let you get up and go inside now for us,
Yeah,
so
not here in
it's not
Cleveland, so.
too. It's not too bad. I took the kids once this year during the pandemic, but I can't stand being around other people.
The pandemic.
Little crotch goblins that are undisciplined. So yeah.
Like ones that you got to worry about the ones that go into the zoo and are going to eat the ornaments off the trees there.
That's my.
Possibly, Odys, you might be right.
It's possible.
The point behind this, guys, like I said, is to just stay positive and look forward to the future. Don't get down because while you might think that you're alone, you're not alone. You do have supporters. You do have people in your corner. You may not always see them, but they are there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So speaking on that note, what do you see coming for us as streamers in 2021?
It's gonna be interesting. I don't think Twitch is gonna survive. We've discussed this one at length.
Yeah.
The fact that you have a partnered Twitch streamer showing her ass off on stream like that, and all she got was a ban, it just says to what the state of Twitch is. So Twitch is going down the toilet. There's too many problems that they don't want to address. Their whole idea of putting giving the viewers the channel points option to boost that streamer, that's great and all, but what happens if you don't have the viewers to expand upon that? For somebody who only has one viewer at a time, that's not going to help them much. So, because like, say, Gamer, you come to my stream, you're the only viewer spending, say, 500 points. But then we go to Ghost Stream. He's got 30 people spending 500 points at a time to boost his stream. Who's going to win? So, I don't know. Facebook has got some issues. They got to fix their lag on their chat because that's getting ridiculous. Me what, Odys? Facebook has got some issues. YouTube's got its own issues. There's a lot to do, but there's a lot of opportunities for streamers because Facebook does offer some great growth opportunities. I'll win. YouTube has got some great growth opportunities, being able to edit your videos and upload them into your same playlist along with your streams and everything. It does help that aspect as well. A lot of people just forget that the hard work that comes into it is the networking aspect of it, which is where I've been lacking lately because I don't network nearly as much as I used to. Need to get back to doing that. But at the end of the day, you got to remember it's about the content that you put out, not about the amount of butt kissing you do to other streamers. And it's going to take time. So.
I completely agree. Completely agree. Hold on.
There's other platforms that are starting to evolve. Trovo's starting to move forward a bit. Brime is in the works.
I haven't seen much on Trovo. I've kind of dangled with it. I don't really like it. It feels like someone took Mixer and dumbed it down and made it all magical.
Yeah, that's why I've seen a lot of Trovo streamers going back to Twitch or back to Facebook or back to YouTube. But I see a lot of, in the end, I see a lot of people leaving every platform to go somewhere else because they're trying to find that foothold again. And for me, I could easily pick back up, go back to Twitch, and just pick up where I left off. And my little hiatus is going to take, it's going to cause my Twitch viewership to take a hit because I'm going to have to reestablish that. But I'm happy with what we're doing now. I mean, look at last night. We had some people come in last night randomly that had nothing to do with us before. We've picked up a few new brand members. Psycho Kitty is joining. My buddy Matt's joining. St. Nick, when his contract is up, is joining. So, I mean, the brand is still moving forward. It's just on a different platform. So there's nothing wrong with what's coming.
So my thing is, technology-wise, how do you think companies are establishing to streaming becoming a mainframe.
Cameras are evolving. The clarity of pictures in cameras is evolving. Microphones are evolving constantly. The technology to deal with, you know, like you see ads all the time now. You got this soundboard and this canceller and all this extra stuff, lighting. All these companies are getting big because, or bigger, I should say, because they're actually starting to tailor it around streaming. What were you telling me the other day? The Storm Chasers.
Yeah, the Storm Chasers that I watched, that tornadoes and
You never sent me that
hurricanes.
link.
Oh, from streaming. It's actually a lot of fun to see. Storm.
So, technology is evolving just in general, but I actually watched what was I watching? It wasn't a stream, but I was watching. Oh, the Game Awards. We were watching the Game Awards. You remember? You saw it a couple of times. The desk, the paper pusher sitting behind the desk. Did you see some of the mics that they had?
Yes.
Those are streamers' mics. They weren't
Okay.
just like headset mics or whatever. Like, you know, they actually had. One of them looked like the Elgato, the Wave 3.
Okay.
I actually recognize that off of one of them. Cameras, you know, I've got the C922 Pro. See that all the time in people's offices now. It's not just, you know, but it's becoming, while it was kind of tailored for this, it's becoming more mainstream to have all this similar type of equipment because it's all there because of what COVID has done. You can't be in the same room without, unless you're going to sit on opposite sides of the room and yell across the room at each other.
Right.
So, hell, you know, I just wish to make the cords longer so you can position your cameras better. Watching Sheriff Strafe, you know, he's got that back view. I'd like to see his command center or whatever.
Computers and like his cords are ran up to his roof and stuff. Like, yeah.
So,
Elgato sent him like a whole package whenever he moved into his new house of like all new equipment to use and everything.
so,
Make me a little bit jelly, why don't you?
oh god, I would love to have a full setup from Elgato.
Right?
I want the Wave 3. I want the pen light that they have. I've got the Stream Deck. I just need to utilize it more. Unfortunately, there's not a lot on there for Facebook and YouTube. Elgato, their Stream Deck was more, their program is more tailored towards what Mixer and Twitch were, unfortunately. So, things will keep evolving, and it's interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see what's coming for that.
Right. So you haven't left yet? Oh.
So, and that's pretty much all I got for today. Unfortunately, that's like I said. I just wanted to just put out a positive message that just because things have been bad doesn't mean they can't get better. You know, once you just gotta find that spot where things start to get better for you. So,
Yep.
So, gamer, if you got nothing else, we're gonna go ahead and just wrap it up right here.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
And guys, we'll have another positive stream for you guys next week.
Yep.
Once we come up with an idea. So I will see you all next week and have a good one. And we're gonna end.